How's it going? It is Jason, and today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. It is 10:02 p.m. here in South Korea. It's a late night video, but I had to do some reflection throughout the day before making this video. First of all right, I live in South Korea. Um, here's let me make myself clear. There's enough content out there that highlights the glitz and glams of South Korea, the beautiful stuff, the pretty stuff, the surface level stuff. But I don't see enough content about the actual real, what from a real point of view, not the I'm going to tread lightly on what I say because I don't want to lose my job type of responses you might see from other content creators here in South Korea. And honestly, and I understand why, because there's a lot of people who are here, depending on their visa or depending on where they work at, they don't want to be seen saying the wrong thing and then they fucking get canceled or lose a job, whatever. That has happened before to certain individuals for speaking their truth, speaking their mind about something. And I agreed with the person, but the people did not agree with him, and they dragged him for months. I think the gentleman has recovered from that since then. However, I've been here since 2013. Let me make myself clear before you say, "Why don't you speak Korean?" Because the majority of my stint here in South Korea was because I was stationed here through the United States Air Force. Now I'm a United States veteran. For those of you who don't know how Korea operates, and from a lot of your comments, a lot of people comments who have commented on my content in the past on various things, they have proven they are ignorant to how South Korea operates. There are certain groups in South Korea. You have your regular expats who come here on a visa to be a student, a teacher, or whatever type of visa. Then you have those of us who come here underneath the USFK, United States Forces of Korea, the military community. Let me make this clear. The military community is not just made up of military people. It is made up of military service members, American civilians who are either government employees or American civilians who are contractors. And then for each of these three groups, military service members, American government employees, American contractors, they may also have dependent spouses, their wives, husbands, and children with them as well at these installations here in South Korea. Then on top of that, part of the USFK umbrella is you have Korean nationals who also work on base as Korean government employees or Korean contractors who work on these bases. Now, these bases, the main language that is spoken amongst everyone from the Korean employees and Americans is English. On these installations, you don't really have to leave them because everything you need is pretty much provided for you on these installations, from education, elementary, middle school, high school, even college, medical, shopping for groceries, or even some other type of shopping, like little quote unquote malls, your exchanges as well. Sports complexes on installations, gyms, theaters, churches, community centers, all these different infrastructures are on these installations, and everyone on the bases, even the Korean locals, the Korean nationals, speak English. Therefore, since like myself, we work on these places, work, live, and play in these installations, the main language you are speaking most of the time is English. Now, can you learn Korean? Yes, you can make the effort to learn Korean. However, just like any language, you need to really practice it often. Now, if you're working on a US installation, the language you're going to be speaking the most is English. Even when you try to speak Korean with local nationals on base, they still want to speak English as well because they're trying to improve their English because it helps them in their career job progression on these bases. So for those of you who say asinine things as, "Oh, you spent all those years in Korea and you don't speak no Korean," yes, because I did not need to. It is one thing when you need to speak a language to in order to survive, you will make it your thing. However, being in Korea, where a lot of people do speak English compared to other countries. And then if your day-to-day work is in English, and when you get off work, a lot of times you're not going out, you're going your ass home, you speak in English. So I digress. Now, on to my next thing. I really want to talk about, you have the group that I love and support, the Passport Bros. I think the Passport Bros is a very good group. It's a very good movement. The Passport Bros movement remind me of my early days of living overseas when I left America in 2008 because of my job in the military, and I went to Japan, lived in Europe, and then came here. But it reminds me of the early years, whereas you shell shock, you're culture shock. You really don't know what to expect. You leave America, everything that you thought was the the truth. You realize some things in America is wrong, some things are good, but then you realize some things overseas is much better than in the States. The early phases, right? Now, being that I have been overseas since 2008, I'm no longer really in those early phases of living overseas, right? However, I can bring very good context and maturity and experience to those who are moving into the Passport Bros movement, which I consider myself part of. Just like with anything, any organization, you have your new people, your middle level people, and then you have your high ranking executive, and you have your board members, right? I don't know what would be. I consider myself a board member, and that's probably that. And those are like your real elders who've been overseas for a very long time. I probably look at myself probably up at the executive level since I've been overseas for a minute. However, um, when it comes to dating relationships overseas, there's different phases of it, right? Like I said, right now the early phase is you got your girlfriend, right? You get blessed, you get married to her, all goes well, there's no divorces and whatnot, and I wish the best for you. I'm saying this right now, you don't see it, but it does happen, me included. Divorces do happen. Now, it is a much lower rate compared to in the States. However, divorces do happen, and in some countries like Japan and Korea, divorce rates are increasing. You would see this typically in countries where Western influence is growing. So don't be shell shocked, don't be surprised. But mainly, it's not that bad. You can even be a single parent. You can be a single. I see there's single parents who do get remarried and all that. They do. You see all the time, especially with Filipinos. They they know how to make it work up like that. You see them get remarried. You'll see some Japanese get married, Koreans too, even some Thai. But Filipinos, I think they are good at popping out 2 or 3 kids from a previous marriage, and then just some kind of way wooing that new guy to get them married. Right? It's just the way they move. It's the way they move. That's all I'm saying. Now, dating. Now let's talk about me. I don't have a baby mama. I'm not a baby daddy because I was married when we had our child. Let me make that very clear to you. A baby mama and a baby daddy are people who was not married when you had a child. You are a baby mama, you are a baby daddy because you didn't have a child under the marriage umbrella. Now, when you was married and you had a child, you have an ex-wife, ex-husband, the father, father or mother of your child. That's what it is. It's put a little more respect on people who actually, was able to follow through with a traditional relation like marriage and not just have a kid out of the way a lot. But that's a whole different conversation. Speak your feelings in the comment section about that. Now, fast forward to me. Now, like I said, in my earlier years in living overseas, I was single, no kids. I was able to move how I want to move, date how I want to date, not a care in the world. You know what I'm saying? I had to pay for no babysitters and all that stuff. Now, fast forward to now, single father, um, living in a crib, which can be very tricky. And I'm starting to understand that. And when being a single now, you will see there's guys come overseas, they got kids, but they aren't the one with the custody of their kids. So it's a different situation. Different. They play a different dating game because they don't actually have their kid full time like I do. They might have their kids during certain seasons of the year, which teach their own. That's their situation. But for my situation, I have my child full time, so dating for me is a lot different. Um, and that's something to keep in mind when you are going overseas. And if you, like myself, I'm gonna get custody of my child because I feel like I'm providing a much better lifestyle and upbringing for them under my care, under my custody. But this comes with a whole other set of I'm gonna say problems that you will encounter, right? And something that you as a full time parent, and I'm speaking to the guys there, even though some guys probably won't be as common. I guess this is mainly me kind of doing some reflection on my dating past and seeing where I went wrong. I went wrong in thinking that I could be a full time single father while still trying to date as if I was overseas in my early 2008 days, single, no kid. That is something that I have to, or I had come to realization that you cannot do. Because you got to think about it. When you're Even if you don't got your kids with you, your kids in the States and you overseas, you can still move like you move as a single because your kid's not here. But here's the thing: when you're dating a woman, she wants attention as much as even though she may be a boss chick, even though she might have her own thing going on, working this and that, she still expects you to have a lot of attention for her, right? Regardless of whatever she's doing, your attention better. She might not have a lot for you, but you better have a lot for her because that's just, I guess, the nature of how things go, right? Double standard, I guess. But when you are a single father like I am, you don't have that luxury. You don't have that time luxury. All right. You don't have the time to be like, hey, look, let's just go kick it real quick because you can't. You got a kid. You need a babysitter, right? But I remember seeing those videos of women talking about you want to go out on a date with me. You gotta pay for the babysitter. You better buy me something to eat, and then I'm gonna take something back home to feed my children, this and that. And being that I'm the in those shoes, kind of, I don't wear high heels, I wear tennis shoes. Uh, being that I'm in those shoes, it is retarded for anyone to think someone got paid for your babysitter, right? Granted, yeah, if they invite you out, but that's not their child. It's your child. It is your responsibility. So you should cover that, right? Because when a single mom, she goes out, she will pay for her babysitter. She will pay to get ready, get all dolled up for you, and then she goes out on a date with a man, and then the man, he pays for the dinner, he pays for if he's driving, drive you, or if you're not, Uber, he's paying for the drinks. All right, so the financial responsibilities in that outing is split, right? Because men do pay to get ready as well. So now, when you're the single father and you want to go out, you are covering a lot. You think about it. You have to pay for a babysitter, right? And then if you have the time, you might cook dinner before you leave to feed your babysitter and your daughter, or you ordering food for your daughter and the babysitter, and then you're getting ready or whatever. You might go get your beard cleaned up or whatever, go to the barbershop. If that might cost you $30, $40 right there. And then you go pick up your lady for your date, and then you're paying for the date. You're paying for so that night as a single father, you're paying for multiple miles. In my situation, I'm paying for 5 actually, because my babysitter, she brings over her daughter to play with my daughter when they come. So I'm paying for like 5 miles to eat in one night as a single father, right? So it's not like I'm going out and just paying for me and her. No, paying for me, her, 3 miles at the house while I'm out on my date, right? And that's a difference, right? That's that's a financial burden that as a single father I have to bear, right? And even if you have the money, sometimes you're like, bro, I don't want to keep spending money like this. Like, hey, look, you got to figure something out, right? And then it's not as easy as trying to find someone. Hey, can my daughter come and spend the night by your house? We can go out. No, that's not how it goes. So that's one aspect, right? And then so if you're dating someone and you're like, oh, let's go out again, and you're hey, like, I don't want to keep going out because I gotta freaking feed 5 mouths, you know. It's not like it's just you and me going out. It's like you, me, and then I'm paying with these three to eat. So it becomes like it gets costly, all right? And I know like they might say, well, make more money. No, let's be realistic here. Like just because you make the money don't mean you want to spend it like that. Not everyone wants to just flaunt and spend money like that. After a while you feel like, damn, what like shit, let's just stay at home or go walk in the park or something. Give my bank account a break. And then maybe you get lucky and you're not expecting this person, if you're going on a date with them more than one time, you're not gonna expect them to pay for it because you're not gonna ask them. Because even though we're in this age where women want to work and make money at the same level, even more than men, they still want to be treated like a lady. They still want to be, pampered and this, that, and the third. But then you look at it from a financial point of view, because you are a single parent and you monitor your finance. You looking at this like this is not really a good deal. you know, Once again, when you are single and dating, whatever, bro, let's run it up. Let's chill. Let's go. Let's have a ball. Let's go run. But when you not, you start looking at the numbers. You're like, bro, this is not fiscal savvy. I could have invested this money into some Bitcoin and got a better return versus this type of stuff. So like it's like that's one aspect of it. Now the other aspect is time, right? So once again, if you are a single father but you don't have custody of your child, you have a lot of time. You probably working. You can go hit the gym, and then you got a lot. You got more flexibility in your schedule. Go either you can go meet up with your boo or the chick you're dating. You know what I'm saying? You're not worrying about now having to not just time manage yourself. You're now having to time manage your kid as well, right? Because if you're trying to go out, you got to make sure your child's schedule and your schedule ain't conflicting or whatever. And then you got to try to, once again, find a babysitter or somebody to watch your child so you can go. So it's another dynamic. And I would say this, like, I know a lot of like women who are single moms, and they have a way bigger support system. They have other women who can help them out. They don't have to work. They don't suddenly have to pay. They just drop the kid off by like one of their girlfriends and free this and that. As a man, you don't have that. You won't. You don't have that type of support. You come out of pocket. Yeah, double standard, but that is what it is. You don't got that support system. You gotta figure out on your own, right? So is it unfair? I mean, it is what it is, bro. That's honestly what it is. It is what it is. I look at it like what's important, your dating life or you being there for your child and doing your best to provide for your child. And the most important thing is you being there for your child and providing what's best for your child. Even if that means putting your dating life on the back burner because your situation doesn't afford you with the ability to move like how you would have moved if you didn't have a kid, right? And that's just a decision as a father you have to make. Uh, it is what it is. So back on the time thing. So like yeah, it's like because you think about it, just a quick rundown of my daily schedule with my daughter. I homeschool. And I homeschool. I even been moving my business to work from home to make it easier. Every now and then I might get like hit up to go do some construction work, and then I might hire someone for the day, and then pretty much part of the money I make for the day, portion that goes to the babysitter, and I get left over a little bit of money. But my normal day is we get up, we get ready as if we're leaving the house, but we're not right away. We get up, get ready, get her going with her homeschool curriculum. I'm make breakfast for the both of us, and then I start doing my thing, either working on my business, or myself as well. I'm in college. I'm taking two classes right now for my bachelor's in computer science and I'm also working on a minor in business management and working on a certification for cybersecurity. So either I'm working on school stuff for myself or I'm working on orders, dealing with customers for my business. And then lunchtime comes around, I gotta make lunch. Gotta make us lunch. And so typically around 12, 1 o'clock, my daughter, she's done with her homeschool lessons for the day. But depending on which day of the week, she might have her math and Korean lessons that I have to take her to that. And that's like a after school type of program where there's other kids that go there to work on math. And because she's half Korean, also help her develop her Korean language skills as well. So then we got to get her bag ready for that and then go drop her off over there. And then I have like probably like 2 or 3 hours, depending on how long I leave her over there to myself. Typically, what I'm doing, 2 or 3 hours, I'm running errands, getting stuff done for the house, getting stuff done for my daughter, take care of business stuff for myself, maybe go do a quick meeting business wise and whatnot. And then after that, pick her up. Now that's on that day. Now we might have sports. She does sports. We was doing Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts season's closed up. But right now, soccer. We're in soccer. So 2 days out the week, we're going to soccer. So, and then after either math and Korean class or after soccer practice, pick her up, go home, gotta cook dinner. All right. So I gotta cook dinner, get her down, get her to download her gear for the day. And then get her ready for bed. It's that and the third. Do I go to bed right away? No, not right away at all. And so just right there, that's like a normal day throughout the week. All right, now you're in a relationship with somebody, you're dating somebody. They only just got themselves and a job. If you're dating a woman who don't have a kid, right? That's the example we're gonna use here. We're dating a woman who don't have a kid, who don't have a child. She just has her job and herself. That's pretty much it. Being here in Korea, if you're dating a Korean, most likely, she might stay at home with her parents. So she don't really have no real financial responsibilities either, other than probably her cell phone bill or her little credit card or whatever. So her mental bandwidth is way more not taxed like yours, right? Because you are not just dealing with yourself as a single father. You're dealing with yourself, your child, right? You manage two different and your household. You manage all these aspects for yourself, your child, and the whole house, and that is taxing, right? Ask a single mom. I understand. All right, it's very taxing, but once again, you're dating, right? I know. Once again, here goes another double standard. If it was the other way around, a dad dating the single mom, a man dating a single mom, men who date single moms, they are, I did it before. We are more understanding and willing to be more flexible. However, some women, when it's the other way around, some women not so much. Especially if they have a career. And here's where here's another part where I realized I went wrong. A man gets a career to take care of not just himself. To take care of like his family, friends. He starts a family, and that's mainly what he gets a career for. That's mainly what he wants to make money for. Not necessarily just for himself. It's so he can start a family. Some women, they get a career not for those same reasons. They get a career for mainly just for themselves. And cool, that's them. As a man, or you have to be cognitive of that, and you have to understand that. And if you have to be willing to, it's like you have to be willing to be like, willing to compromise or not. Now, even if you're willing to compromise, you might be willing to compromise for a certain period of time until you get fed up and you're like, look, it's not worth it, right? I've been there, I've done that. And what I mean is that, okay, you're a single father. Now I know I'm busy. I know I'm already gonna be busy, right? And in the beginning, she might be understanding in the beginning. It always starts in the beginning. But as time goes on, especially she has friends that's dating and she sees her friends and her boyfriend and their boyfriend always doing shit, and then she's looking at y'all two, and you are tired as a single father because you did all this stuff in like a day, 5 to 6 days, 5 to 7 days out the week, and she's like, hey, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, and you like, look, fam, I don't feel like planning no trips. And it's not because you're lazy, it's because been planning, you've been managing a household, on your own, a homeschooling household throughout the week. The last thing you feel like doing is, oh, now I got to plan a trip too as well. Like, hey, what you want to say is, hey, look, since you don't have as much on your plate, why don't you plan the trips that you want us to do? And I'm like, okay, cool. But women want you as the man to plan the trips. All right. So you as a single father, you are put in a predicament where you now have to operate as if you are a single man dating while at the same time operate as a single father who's running a household, a homeschooling household, and you're running a business as well. All right, so you have multiple hats you are expected to do. Now, in the beginning, you'll do it. You like, cool, let's go. I'm gonna do it, right? Let's go ahead. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I got it. Don't worry about it. All right. You do it for a while, and after a while, you start realizing, like you like, well, what do you like? You start looking at the woman you're dating, who's like you see, look, you don't got much. Like, you staying with your parents, if or they might stay by themselves, right? But I'm talking about career. A lot of people do stay with their parents still, or they'll get like this small apartment, studio apartment, which is like, for me, when I was in the dorms in the military, which is, I think, is easy as hell to manage. They might have that, all right? So in the beginning, you do these wants that they want from you because it's new. It's like the honeymoon phase of the relationship. You're like, oh, sure, baby, I love you. I do it. You do you do that, right? But as time goes on, while you are managing your homeschool household and your home business and your college degree and your child's whole activities, and now your girlfriend over here who only has herself and I during the week because most of the day she's busy with her stuff, and then she's expecting to, when she comes to you, that you plan this whole extravagant event and experience for her, even though in your head you thinking you have way more free time to plan this stuff, but instead it's on me, right? And then you start thinking like, bro, this is like, it's kind of unfair, right? It's like, because think about it, and if you like me, you read a lot, and you read a lot of books. You also hear when women talk about, well, I want a man who's willing to take care of the household, tend to the children, cook, clean, and all this and that. And if you like single father like me, you do all that, right? While you still bringing in money too. And but when at the same time you like, what am I getting? If I'm doing all this, managing the household, cook, clean, take care of the child, managing all this, and then at the same time you're dating somebody who has way more mental bandwidth than you, because during the day it's just when they're not around you, it's just them they're dealing with, maybe work, but it's mainly just them they have to manage throughout the week, right? And then when they come to you, you're now expected to now plan and manage stuff for them, because the way they're gonna look at it is, the way your girlfriend's gonna look at it is this: she had a busy week, she's tired from work, she wants you, her man, to give her a stress reliever, which is understandable. I get that. However, you're a single father. Well, I'm single. You you too had a stressful week. You too worked, took care of kids, maintained a household, did all that as well. And so now it's, like I said, in the beginning it's all honeymoon phase. You willing to put up with this, but as time goes on, you start being like, what am I really getting out of this? Like, it starts becoming diminishing returns. It's like you feel like you're just constantly working. you're constantly maintaining a household and all this and that, and nobody's, and you start to be resentful. So I think so for me, because think about it, if it was the other way around, right? If it was the guy who was working throughout the week, and then his girlfriend who's a single mom, she's been just momming it all throughout the week. Naturally, he's gonna come and give her like a reprieve. Hey, baby, don't worry about that. Even though he worked all week, but still, because he's, because traditionally, the man comes and he does that. And I think this is where, for me, it's the freaking thing that bothers me. Right? It's like society wants to be traditional and non-traditional when it's convenient for certain people, right? For certain genders. But when it's flipped around, when the other gender is in the other role and the other one is in the other role, the man is still expected to still fulfill the other role. And then as an intelligent man like myself, you start being like, bro, this is nah, you know. So you really like Jesus, like you just feel like you're just being you start to feel like you're being used, right? And the person the woman you're seeing, she's not and the thing, some women are intentionally using you, some are not. You have to be able to tell the difference. But for the most part, I don't think women intentionally do, because first of all, how common is there single fathers who are full time like me? It's not really a common thing. So that's why I don't think women will intentionally do this. It's just them operating in their natural, where they worked all week, they see their man, they expect their man to kind of help them relax. So, but because we are moving in different times, where we are starting to see more fathers be full time custody holders and whatnot, we now need to be more conscious of, hey, look, this is cool. You was doing your boss chick all week, went home to your studio apartment or went home by your parents' house. You ain't really got no bills to really worry about. You just got you yourself and yourself. And me over here throughout the whole week, I've been maintaining the household, home, homeschooling, my schooling, running my side business, running around like a chauffeur, for the kid, this and that. And then you come to me, and now I'm expected to give you, a relief from your week, but where's my relief for my week? Especially when I'm the one who had the most on their plate, who has the least help. Right? I had to pay for my help. You know what I'm saying? But if your significant other, they're staying with their parents is helping them out, subsidizing them. So it's like, so for me, I have to be, I have to really see this type of stuff in the beginning, right? Where meaning that I need to be able to have foresight in seeing that, hey, look, you're a beautiful woman, you're an intelligent woman. I respect you and your business aspirations, but because I know how this is not work out, it's not gonna be, because I'm gonna expect, and I don't even think this is just a, yeah, because I'm gonna be like, when I see you, I'm gonna expect you to kind of help, give me like a little relief, since I've been the one with the most on my plate during the week versus you, right? And if you can't even do that in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, I don't think it's gonna improve in marriage, right? So for me, as a full time single father, I have to be better at picking committed relationships, right? I have to have a real serious conversation with women who are have their own careers or whatnot, and ask them like, hey, this is how it's gonna be, or this is what I expect. This is what we need to expect. Where do you see yourself in these expectations going forward? So yeah, and I honestly think that's been a lot of the issues lately when it comes to dating. Is that in the beginning is like honeymoon phase, but as time goes on, you start realizing you are just piling more on your plate. All right, especially when, but let me let's just be honest. Like, I make money. they make money. When they come to my house, they are benefiting from the money I make, meaning that I buy the groceries in the house, pay the rent, the internet, all that. We go driving somewhere, gas, all that. That's all them benefiting from my income. But they're working 6-7 days a week, and they're coming to you, and they're benefiting, right? You're not what portion of their money do you get a benefit from? You don't, right? And that adds another like aspect to it. Is like, especially if they are living a very low cost of living lifestyle themselves, especially if they live at home with their parents. So they're already being subsidized on their own personal. So already they're saving a large chunk of their own money for themselves. And then they're coming to you, and then you are pretty much paying for, covering more expenses for them. So at the end of the day, they benefit the most. So for me, that's like, damn, that's kind of bothersome. All right. Because once again, like I said earlier, when we go out, I gotta pay for babysitter. I gotta, pay to get ready, pay for me and my date to eat. Because I pay for everything. Don't worry about that. I got it. But then again, I gotta pay for babysitter and everyone at the house to eat too. I'm paying for 5 miles. So like, yeah, after a while, you start realizing, bro, this is not no fair and balance. And I'm not even saying 50-50. This is not even a balanced deal. And this is what I come to realize as a single father is what I have to understand. This the cost of doing business or something, I guess, right? But even then, that's not it's not fair, it's not right. Because think about it, like I said, if they are, yeah, they're living a low cost of living themselves, especially if they are like living with their parents covering most of the big stuff there too, or they got, and they come to you and you like, okay, I got this. I got this too. Hey, come to my house. Don't worry about it. They got Wi-Fi. We got food, liquor. We on a date. You paying all that. Like, so it's like, so not only are you expected, because this is just the traditionally, not only are you expected to plan this awesome experience for your significant other when they come see you, but then you're also paying for most of the stuff too. And you, as a single father who's been like just busting their butt all week, where is your you know what I'm saying? Like, what doesn't make sense, right? So for me, after a while, the relationship doesn't seem beneficial at all. It just seems like you are just being used. And once again, I don't say they're intentionally using you because typically the man does take care of stuff, as he should, as I am. But it's not typical for the man to be the full-time parent as well. But I'm doing that too. So it's like I'm because like I said, if it was the other way around, where it's the guy who has no kids, he's single, he is dating a single mom. Typically, there's the balance there because this guy, he's coming into his mom life and he's helping her out. He might be giving her some money, paying for some stuff. Hey, I'm gonna take you and your kid on a trip somewhere. That's typically and it's a balance. It makes sense. But then we're in my shoes where no, I'm a single parent. I'm working. She's working. She's coming, and now I'm supposed to take her and everyone else on the trip. Like I said, in the early phases, it's okay. But as time goes on and you start looking at stuff, you start realizing, bro, this is not a balanced relationship. It is not at all. And then after a while, I know how I am, and what I've done is you start pulling back. You start going into protection mode. You start going into like, look, I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's not even about the money. It's about the contribution to the table. Because especially if they are a career woman, they don't have the time, right? Now, some people say, why don't you go that way? Once again, let's go back. If I have to make time, I have to hire a babysitter, right? I got to hire a babysitter, then drive, pay gas, this, that, and the third. And then when I get to the destination, I'm paying for everything. right? It is, it's not like it was the other way around, where okay, single mom, she pays for the babysitter, gas, and the dude, if they the dude, he might be a solid guy. He might give her gas money, and he be like, no, I'm gonna take care of I'm gonna take care of the dinner, all that, this, that, and the third, because you got those other things, those obligations that you got to take care of. So I'm handle this part. So let's take that off your plate. That's not the thing. That's where I realized, right? I have to pick better. And then honestly, I don't think I can, because the way, I, yeah, it's not, because you will be expected to do it as a man, regardless if you're the full time single father. It is what expected of us, all right? Is it fair? No, I don't think so, not at all. Especially if you're dating somebody who is like a career focused woman, and then she's already strapped for time because most of her time is going to the career. So then that's a whole nother aspect. That's where I think that's where it really starts to make you feel like you just like what you barely can see them, and then when you do see them, you are still expected to do all this stuff on top of other things while they are able to just focus on their career. They're living, during the week, they're living their best life, looking single, doing this, that, and the third, and they come see you. You now are expected to put on the whole show, right? And so for me, for the most part, this is my fault. I'm not blaming the woman in the situation. I'm blaming myself and not picking better in these relationships, right? And I don't know. I think it's just it could get, I don't know. It's just, yeah, you know you gotta vet them. Even if it means you might go a while alone, it is what it is. It's not about you. It's about your kid, anyways. You gotta focus on your child, do what's best for them, anyways. Like, your needs ain't really the priority, anyways. If if that means picking better means you gotta go a little bit longer by yourself, then so be it. Being there for your kid is the priority. That's the most important thing. But this is just something I want to reflect on. You know, like I said, it's not the women's fault. It's me not having the foresight on this matter, right? But now I do. Now I have the foresight. I have the understanding, and one side of me is just like, it's not even worth dating, because this is gonna happen again. It has happened before. It's gonna happen again, right? Because women want attention. Even if they will say you're a good father, you are responsible, you take care of your house, they will tell you that. But deep down, they want you to give them all kind of attention. And then me, it's like, damn, like you, it's like dealing with a grown, like my 7 year old, right? My daughter's 7 years old. I got to give her attention. I got to take, tend to her attention that she wants, which I understand because she's a child. And you would think, dealing with a grown woman, you don't have to do that, but you do. But you do. All right, but you do. And like I said, I'm not my early 2008 Jason when I was single, then had no kid. I moved different when I was overseas. I am now 2024 single dad Jason, who homeschools. I go to college myself, run a home business, chauffeur my daughter around to her extracurricular activities, her math, Korean, soccer, Girl Scouts, and running errands all around town. That is who I am now, right? And that's where I went wrong. I thought I could move like 2008 Jason, but I cannot move like 2008 Jason. I have to move like Papa Bear Jason. So that was my reflection video for today. Hope you like it. Please comment below. Tell me your thoughts. No, it is what it is. Talk to you later.